The Clatsop Loop Trail is part of Ecola State Park on the northwest coast between Cannon Beach and Seaside, Oregon. We have come to experience this coastal rainforest and its fascinating human, geologic, and natural history.
We are not young. We are not in a hurry. We like to study the landscape features and the small details, the flora, the fauna, the long arc of geological history.
We believe, like Aristotle, that in all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. We are Elizabeth and Terry. We are two on a trail. Good morning. It's a beautiful day in May, and we are at the coast at Indian Beach, which is just north of Cannon Beach. We're not going down to the beach because we're here to hike and also to explore Ecola State Park. It's a park with a lot of history and a lot of interesting information. It's also a coastal rainforest preserve, and so we're going to look at and see how many species we can see. And we should be getting good birds, and well, we don't know exactly what's ahead, but we're here to enjoy ourselves.
We are on the ancestral homeland of the Clatsop and Tillamook peoples, now part of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians and Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon. They have stewarded this land since time immemorial and still live and thrive here. The Clatsop Loop Trail follows a route established by the Clatsop and Tillamook tribes, who on January 6, 1806, led William Clark and his company in search of a whale, a kakoli in Chinook jargon. When they found the whale, it was little more than a 105-foot-long skeleton. Villagers were boiling the blubber and extracting oil, and Clark bartered for 500 pounds of blubber and a few gallons of oil. Sacagawea claimed a place in the exploratory party, saying it would be very hard if she was not permitted to see the ocean or the monstrous fish. This was the farthest west the explorers traveled. Clark described the trail, quote, as an unusual bad way, unquote. Lots of fallen timber, so that bending under logs was required and made for slow going. The forest that the party passed through was not an old-growth forest, as an earthquake and fire in 1700 had previously devastated it.
Today, this is a second growth, predominantly Sitka spruce coastal rainforest. It was logged in the 1950s and is now jointly managed by the Nature Conservancy and Oregon State Parks. Coastal rainforests are characterized by an understory of ferns, salal, and salmonberry, as well as many wildflowers, fungi, and mosses. The view out to the ocean from Tillamook Head was, quote, the grandest and most pleasing prospect which my eyes ever surveyed, unquote. Captain William Clark, 1806. Tillamook Lighthouse has a long and fascinating history. A solid basalt sea stack was selected in 1878. Wild storms, injuries, and death accompanied the construction, but in 1881, a Fresnel lens was lit for the first time. In 1934, boulders from a huge storm smashed the lantern room and Fresnel lens. They were never replaced. In 1957, the lighthouse was decommissioned.
Back up the Rudy Roots.
Yep.
I did see some concrete structures to the side of the trail, and I believe they had fortifications here during World War II anyway. Of course, in these modern times, those kinds of fortifications are obsolete. So a retaining wall of some kind.
Fallen wood is essential to the forest ecosystem, and Oregon's forest protection laws require that some snags and fallen trees be left after logging. All right, well, we came, we saw a lot of stuff, and now we're heading back. Still looking for that clothespin tree.
Oh, there's one on the way down, I think.
Oh.